The lie that destroyed my life. The first time I heard my husband call me unstable, I laughed. Not because it was funny. Because I couldn't believe the man I had loved for 8 years could say something so cruel about me. I was standing outside our bedroom door, holding a cup of coffee, when I heard his voice through the slightly open door. "She's not the same anymore," my husband, Daniel, told someone on the phone. I froze. His voice sounded worried. Concerned. But I knew him. I knew when he was pretending. "I'm honestly scared of what she might do next," he continued. "Her emotions are all over the place. She needs help." My hand tightened around the coffee cup. Who was he talking about? Then I heard my own name. Emily has become impossible to live with. The cup slipped from my fingers and shattered on the floor. For a moment, I couldn't breathe. My husband was telling someone that I was mentally unstable. The same man who used to tell me I was the strongest woman he knew. The same man who held my hand when I lost my father. The same man who promised me, no matter what happens, we're a team. Now he was secretly building a story where I was the problem. I opened the door. Daniel turned around quickly, his face changing when he saw me. "Emily. Who are you talking to?" I asked. He looked away. "It doesn't matter. It matters when you're telling people I'm crazy." His expression hardened. "I never said crazy. You said I'm unstable." He sighed like I was exhausting him. "Maybe you should listen to yourself. You've been acting different lately." Those words hurt more than I expected. Because they weren't just words. They were a weapon. A weapon designed to make me question myself. For weeks, I had noticed Daniel changing. He came home late. He guarded his phone. He became distant. Whenever I asked if something was wrong, he accused me of being suspicious. "You always overthink everything," he would say. "You're imagining things. You're too emotional." At first, I believed him. Maybe I was stressed. Maybe I was worrying too much. But then strange things started happening. Important documents disappeared from my office. Messages I remembered sending somehow looked different on my phone. My friends started acting uncomfortable around me. One day, my best friend Sarah visited me. She sat across from me quietly. "Emily, can I ask you something?" "Of course." "Are you okay?" I frowned. "What do you mean?" She hesitated. "Daniel told me you've been struggling mentally." My heart sank. "He said that. He said he's worried about you." I stared at her. "Sarah, do you believe him?" She looked away. "I don't know what to believe." That was the moment I realized something terrifying. Daniel wasn't just insulting me. He was convincing other people. He was creating a version of me that didn't exist. A version where I was unstable. A version where nobody would trust me. And I had no idea why. Until I found the hidden file. It happened 3 weeks later. Daniel left his laptop open on the kitchen table while he went outside to take a call. Normally, I respected his privacy. But then I saw my name on the screen. A folder labeled Emily Evidence. My stomach dropped. I clicked it. Inside were screenshots of conversations, recordings, and notes. My hands started shaking. The notes were written by Daniel. Emily becomes emotional when confronted. Emily has anger issues. People should know she is not reliable. I scrolled further. Then I found something that changed everything. A draft document. A legal document. Daniel was preparing to claim that I was mentally unstable. He was trying to use it in court. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Why would my husband do this? Then I found the answer. A message from a woman named Jessica. "Once Emily is removed from the house, we can finally move forward." My blood went cold. Jessica. His co-worker. The woman he always told me was just a friend. There were dozens of messages between them. They weren't just having an affair. They were planning my downfall. Daniel wanted to divorce me. But he didn't want a normal divorce. He wanted to destroy my reputation first. He wanted everyone to believe he was escaping a dangerous wife. I heard the front door open. I quickly closed the laptop. Daniel walked in. "Everything okay?" he asked. I looked at the man standing in front of me. The man I married. The man who was secretly trying to ruin me. "Yes," I said calmly. "Everything is perfect." That night, I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I didn't confront him. Because I realized something. Daniel had spent weeks creating a story. A story where he was the victim. A story where I was the villain. But he made one mistake. He underestimated me. I spent the next few days quietly collecting evidence. Every message. Every document. Every lie. I contacted a lawyer named Victoria, one of the most respected family attorneys in the city. After reviewing everything, she looked at me seriously. "Emily, your husband isn't just trying to divorce you. What is he trying to do? He's trying to make the court believe you're incapable of making decisions for yourself." My hands went cold. "So he can win?" Victoria nodded. "He wants control of the house, your finances, and possibly other assets." I swallowed hard. "But he doesn't know something." "What?" I looked at the evidence folder in front of me. "He doesn't know I found everything." Victoria smiled slightly, then let him continue lying. The next few weeks were the hardest of my life. Daniel became even more convincing. He told our family that he was trying to help me. He told neighbors he was worried about my behavior. He even convinced some people to avoid me. Everyone looked at me like I was broken. Like I was the problem. But I stayed silent. Because I knew the truth. And soon, the truth would have its day. The day of the court hearing arrived. Daniel walked into the courtroom with confidence. He looked like a man who had already won. He had no idea that everything he built was about to collapse. Because the same evidence he planned to use against me was about to expose him. The courtroom was silent as I sat beside my attorney, Victoria. Across the room, Daniel looked completely confident. He was wearing the same calm expression he had shown everyone for months. The expression of a man who wanted people to believe he was a victim. His attorney stood up first. "Your Honor, my client has spent months trying to protect himself from a difficult situation. His wife, Emily, has displayed concerning emotional behavior that has made their marriage impossible." I looked at Daniel. He didn't even look at me. He stared down at the table like he was hurt. Like he was the one suffering. The judge looked through the documents. "Mr. Daniel, you claim your wife is mentally unstable. What evidence do you have?" Daniel's attorney placed several papers on the table. "These are messages showing emotional outbursts, aggressive conversations, and behavior that proves Mrs. Emily is not in a stable condition." My heart sank for a moment. Because those messages were real. But they weren't the full truth. They had been carefully selected. Pieces removed. Context deleted. My husband had spent months building a fake story. Victoria leaned toward me. "Don't worry. This is exactly what we expected." Daniel's attorney continued. "My client has been patient and supportive, but he fears his wife's behavior could become dangerous." Dangerous. That word echoed in my head. The word Daniel wanted everyone to believe. The judge turned toward Victoria. "Do you have a response?" Victoria stood calmly. "Yes, Your Honor. We do." She walked toward the table and placed a folder in front of the judge. "But before we discuss Mrs. Emily's behavior, we need to discuss Mr. Daniel's actions." Daniel's face changed slightly. For the first time, I saw fear. Victoria continued. "My client's husband claims he was concerned about her mental health. However, the evidence shows something very different." She handed over printed messages. "These are private conversations between Mr. Daniel and another woman." The courtroom became quiet. Daniel immediately looked angry. "That's irrelevant." Victoria looked at him. "Is it?" She turned back to the judge. "These messages show that Mr. Daniel was planning to remove my client from their home while secretly maintaining a relationship with another woman." Daniel's attorney quickly objected. "Objection. This is a personal matter." The judge looked serious. Overruled. Continue. Victoria opened the folder. The woman involved is Jessica Miller, Mr. Daniels' co-worker. Daniel's face went pale. I watched him carefully. The confidence was disappearing. Victoria displayed screenshots. Messages. Dates. Plans. Everything. The judge read silently. Then Victoria said something that changed the entire room. Your Honor, these messages reveal that Mr. Daniel was not documenting his wife's behavior because he was concerned about her. He was collecting information to create a false image of her for this court. Daniel finally spoke. That's not true. His voice was louder than before. I was trying to protect myself. Victoria looked at him. Protect yourself from what? Your wife discovering your affair. The room went silent. Daniel looked at me. For a second, I saw the man I used to know. A man who knew he had been caught. But then he tried another tactic. Emily is manipulating everyone. Those words would have destroyed me months earlier. But not anymore. Because I knew the truth. Victoria smiled slightly. Actually, Mr. Daniel, we have more evidence. She placed another document on the table. This is a recording. Daniel froze. The judge allowed it to be played. The courtroom speakers filled with Daniel's own voice. His voice from weeks earlier. She won't be able to fight back if everyone thinks she's unstable. My breathing stopped. Even though I had heard it before, hearing it in that courtroom felt different. Everyone heard it. His family. His attorney. The judge. Everyone. The recording continued. I just need people to believe she's the problem. Daniel sat completely still. His own words had destroyed him. The judge looked disappointed. Mr. Daniel, can you explain this statement? He opened his mouth. Nothing came out. For months, he had controlled the story. But now the truth was controlling him. Victoria turned toward the judge. My client was not unstable. She was being targeted. Her husband attempted to manipulate friends, family, and this court by creating a false narrative. The judge reviewed all the evidence carefully. After a long silence, the decision came. The court rejected Daniel's claims completely. The judge stated that there was no evidence proving I was mentally unstable. Instead, there was evidence of manipulation and dishonesty from Daniel. I walked out of that courtroom feeling like I could finally breathe again. But the story didn't end there. Outside the courthouse, Daniel followed me. Emily, wait. I stopped. For months, I wanted an apology. I wanted him to admit what he did. But when I turned around, I didn't see regret. I saw someone who was angry because he lost control. You ruined everything, he said. I almost laughed. Daniel, I didn't ruin anything. I looked at him calmly. You did. He looked away. I made mistakes. No, I said. You made choices. Those words finally silenced him. Because he knew they were true. A few months later, my life looked completely different. The people who believed Daniel slowly realized the truth. My friends apologized. Some family members admitted they had judged me unfairly. But I didn't spend my time trying to make everyone understand. I had spent too long proving I wasn't the person Daniel created. Now, I was focused on becoming the person I always was. Strong. Independent. Confident. I rebuilt my life. I started a new business. I traveled. I surrounded myself with people who valued honesty. And most importantly, I learned something I would never forget. A lie can travel fast. A lie can convince people. A lie can damage your reputation. But the truth has something a lie will never have. Evidence. Daniel wanted the world to believe I was broken. Instead, he exposed himself. He tried to make me look like the villain in his story. But when the truth finally came out, everyone saw who the real villain was. And for the first time in years, I was finally free.